So basically, we spent so okay. Once again, being a Star Wars reaction, this time we are prepared. We have it's basically something we complain about every time. Or that was a bin with glass bottles in it. Something we're confused about every time is what errors mean and where the fuck they all fit in. Also, don't see the stuff I was confused about on the scale, but we've committed. So fair enough, we're going to commit. Main thing I was always confused by is where the fuck does rule of one, rule of two, rule of many fucking thing come in? So who knows what rule of one was? But basically, still canon. That shit might not matter. But I think this does at least explain where the fuck everything fits in, because I keep saying I'm going to commit to watching the Star Wars shows, and at some points I will commit to watching the Star Wars shows, at least to know how stuff works. And will be a good place to start off. I think this video is by Red Farf, who we've reacted to a lot of their shit before, and pretty solid info, I want to say. Yes, Red Farf. So yeah, let me stop stalling. Let me put the volume up so we can hear things.
The Star Wars galaxy is vastly expansive, with thousands of years of galactic history shaped by conflicts, powerful factions, and legendary heroes and villains. Each era on the timeline is defined by its
Fucking Liam Neeson. He deserves a show. I don't know if they can afford him to have his own show, as in he's probably going to be very, very, very expensive, but he deserves his own show. It'd be cool to have seen Qui-Gon's fucking... We should fund that. Well, we are definitely mean Disney and not crowdfund it. But hey.
own unique struggles, ideologies, and the constant battle between the light and dark sides of the Force. But with
So, I'm fucking getting distracted. We have...
in the
I can't remember what only skips like 2 frames, so we're just gonna fucking commit to doing it that way. Like Rey wearing all white was absolutely like, oh, she is the goodness and the light, and Kylo Ren is the darkness and the sadness and whatever. I don't actually know how often they use color depiction. Aside from like the Sith always being in black and the Empire, but I don't know if that was necessarily a choice because the Jedi were obviously always in fucking beige and boring.
constant battle between the light and dark sides of the Force. But with so many eras spanning thousands of...
Okay, this is more what I was getting at, where we've got all the different fucking these things. Like the High Republic, the fuck is that?
years, it can be difficult to understand.
Isn't something the High Republic is just what the prequels are called, and I just didn't know that.
And how each fits into
that might end very badly.
the larger Star Wars saga. So today, we're catching you up on the canon timeline. This is every single Star Wars era explained. The Dawn of the Jedi era takes place
Can we please get the Sith version, because we like Sith and Sith is more interesting.
about 25,000 years before A New Hope, possibly earlier, and as of now, it's the period we know the least about. That will all change within a couple of years when James Mangold's movie comes out. Announced at
Excuse me?
Star Wars Celebration in 2023, it's set to explore this era in depth. The film aims to delve into the origins of the Force and the birth
Please tell me we get a Sith one. Why can we not have the evil people have one?
of the Jedi Order, with Mangold describing the project as a biblical epic.
How do we have to go religious comparison? Also, sorry, getting back onto the evil thing. Yes, apparently I have, first of all, probably many, many, many mental problems by wanting to go evil. But like, so we all know I've been speaking about Star Wars audiobooks. I found it so easy and so engrossing to listen to all the ones about Sith, but then there's ones about good people and Jedi and like, we're going to help people. And all of a sudden I'm like so bored. What the fuck is happening? Why are we good people? We need more Sith stuff. We need to know about the cool Sith things.
Drawing inspiration from
Also, Knights of the Old Republic. Please make that a series
films
or movie or literally anything. It deserves so much. It has such a good storyline.
like the Ten Commandments to portray the discovery of the Force itself.
Okay, this is getting a bit very biblical heavy. Homie needs to discuss some problems he has with religion, I think.
Personally, it's the upcoming Star Wars movie I'm most
Which one is Jesus? Pick your Jesus.
excited for, because it will explore an entirely new part of Star Wars history, And Mangold is a solid writer and director, as the man behind Logan, one of the best superhero movies of all time. For now, all we know is that the Dawn of the Jedi era marks the beginning of the Jedi Order and is recognized as the time period where the first beings began to sense.
In fairness, God does have pretty solid backing and background, and I'm solidly late to that make that commentary, but hey, we're about to hold hands with Snow.
And harness the Force. This era is associated with Octu, the location of
Octu. Kind of sounds like something that got someone famous.
the first Jedi Temple, where early practitioners gathered to study the light side of the Force.
Early practitioners like Luke Skywalker.
There they developed the principles that would
I was just being condescending. I apologize.
guide the Jedi for a millennia. Around 25,000 BBY is also when the lightsaber architect droid Huyang was created, and he's about the
I'm assuming I should actually know who this is, seeing as that's fucking Ahsoka, but yeah.
only character we know to be active as of now. Well, much of the Dawn of the Jedi
No, there's the droid in Jedi Survivor that was from that era, maybe.
era remains unexplored in current canon. The forthcoming movie, and likely plenty of accompanying books and comics, promise to shed light
Please, good books and good comics, actually.
on the early days of the Jedi. It will be interesting to see what inspiration is taken from the Star Wars Legends Dawn of the Jedi comics that were set around
I shall ignore that comment. We both know it's not Yoda.
this time, but Mangold has free reign to take things in a different direction. The Old Republic era is by far the longest,
And the best, and the most interesting. And it had Revan, and it had actual evil people that killed stuff.
from about
Not this little pussy bitch generation where we just pretend.
25,000 to 1,000
And also, no, I'm not biased.
years before A New Hope. Like the Dawn of the Jedi era, the Old Republic era hasn't been explored much in
Fucking greatest trailer of all time.
Star Wars canon. That's probably by design, to avoid both confusion and backlash. The Old Republic games, novels, and comics are some of the most popular entries in Star Wars legend.
Also, this one, really good book. Apparently very badly written. I thought it was great.
No matter how Lucasfilm would try to adapt it to the big screen, some portions of the fans probably wouldn't like it, because hey, who doesn't hate Star Wars more than Star Wars fans?
That is probably the most accurate fucking statement I've ever heard.
Rather than trying to change things, the Old Republic era has been left alone in canon for the most part, aside from a few small nuggets. This period saw the Jedi Order flourish, serving as protectors of the Old Republic and constructing their temple on Coruscant. However, it
Pretty sure that's the screen from Jedi Survivor, like the loading in screen.
was also during this era that a schism within the Jedi Order led to the creation of the Sith, kicking off the 100-year darkness, igniting centuries of devastating conflict between the light and dark. Canon glimpses of this era have introduced us to the ancient Sith planet Moraband, formerly known as Korriban in Legends. Tales of great battles like the Jedi-Sith Wars, and mentions of Sith lords such as Darth Revan, Darth Malak, and Darth Bane, who established the rule of two, further highlight the chaos that defined this time. The
I was so confused why apparently Darth Bane came out of fucking sand or lava, or I don't know what he was meant to be, and how that was not him. You mean the Samurai Jedi show? I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, that statement.
Mandalorians were also a major faction during this time period, going to war with the Jedi on more than one occasion.
In other words, Knights of the Old Republic 2.
One Mandalorian Jedi named Tar Vizsla creates the legendary Darksaber. At the war's end, the Old Republic transforms into the Galactic Republic after the perceived annihilation of the Sith, who were
Darth Bane.
operating from
And Darth Vader.
the shadows and abiding by the rule of two. SaberCouncil.com's massive holiday sale is here.
I was so confused about that transition from Darth Bane and Darth Vader to, hey guys, look at these lightsabers. I was so confused where that was going. It's just an ad.
Right now, you can save 20% off on all lightsabers for a limited time only. No code needed at checkout, it automatically applies. Saber Council already sets out to offer the most affordable lightsabers on the market.
That's a pretty good
bar
rep because
none.
I have no idea who the
Even
raid
without
one's
the
supposed to
sale,
be.
their RGB Padawan sabers start at just $66. The discount brings that to $53. Why not grab two and make a double-bladed lightsaber since they offer free shipping on
Because
orders
I'm poor and don't have $103, but it does look dope and would totally waste money on it if it had money.
over $100. Saber Council has some of the coolest custom saber designs out there, and if replicas are more your thing, they have a huge selection of all of your favorite characters. So, happy holidays
your
from
pick.
us at Red 5 and our
I've
friends
no idea who half
at
those were. I
Saber
know one was
Council.
supposed to be the Luke
High
Skywalker or
Republic
Darth
era
Vader.
begins around 500 BBY and lasts for 4 centuries until 100 BBY. The High Republic era
The fuck is BBY? I keep seeing that everywhere, but I actually don't know what it means. I feel like I probably missed the piece where I explained that. Before the Battle of Yavin. I'm not 100% sure what the Battle of Yavin has to do with it, but okay.
era was the golden
Was that when Jesus was born?
age for both
Because we've
the
used so
Jedi
many
Order
religious
and the Galactic
references.
Republic, marked by peace and prosperity. Following the disappearance of the threat that was the Sith, it was a time when the Jedi truly lived as the guardians of peace and
Got a purple lightsaber Samuel L. Jackson did.
justice, acting as beacons of hope across the galaxy. This era saw the Jedi at the height of their influence, operating from their temple on Coruscant and reaching the galaxy's furthest frontiers through the Starlight.
Please explain what the fuck is happening here. They do not look attached at any point, but yet she's holding one in the air. Well, both of them in the air by holding one. Just the point.
Temple on Coruscant and reaching the galaxy's furthest frontiers through the Starlight Beacon, a massive space station symbolizing unity and exploration. The Republic, led by Chancellor Lina So, expanded into the Outer Rim territories during this period, using the Jedi as peacekeepers to support its mission of exploration and development. The era's mantra, "We are all the Republic," reflected a unified
That is probably the worst, saddest, complete, like, weirdest mantra saying I've ever heard. We are all the Republic. That is very sad and depressing.
galaxy, striving for mutual growth and understanding. However, this golden age was not without its shadows. The Jedi faced significant threats during the High Republic era, most notably the Nihil, a group of marauders capable of using hyperspace in terrifying ways. They unleashed chaos, targeting the Republic's expansion efforts. Additionally, the dark side lingered at the edges of the galaxy, foreshadowing the decline of the Jedi Order's ability to sense and address the growing power of the dark side. The High Republic is currently being explored through books and comics, though this publishing initiative is set to end next year. The live-action series The Acolyte also takes place at the tail end of this time period, but with its rumored cancellation after Season 1's poor critical performance, it's hard to say.
Why does Disney have all the fucking money in the world but apparently just make such shit shows? Surely you can hire good writers and good actors to make one decent fucking show. You literally have half of the world. You own half the fucking IPs. About half, I mean Star Wars and Marvel. But you can surely just do better.
Say what the future holds for the High Republic. The fall of the Jedi era brings us to the prequel trilogy, from roughly 100 BBY to 19 BBY. The fall of the Jedi marks one of the darkest periods in galactic history. This era saw the
Well, I mean, dark is kind of maybe a little bit overboard. Some of us might have supported Darth Vader and Anakin. I'm just saying.
the slow decline of the Jedi
Also just saying Obi-Wan's hair there almost looks like a fucking helmet.
Order and the Galactic Republic, ultimately culminating in their collapse at the hands of the Sith. During this time, the Republic became plagued by corruption and political infighting, The Senate, once a beacon of democracy, was controlled by self-serving politicians and dominated by corporate interests like the Trade Federation and Techno Union. Despite these challenges, the
They threw really cool underground parties and it cemented techno as the future music type for the Republic.
Jedi continued to serve as peacekeepers, but their influence began to wane.
I love how it's Peacekeeper and it's fucking Count Dooku force choking someone before he was Count Dooku.
And their connection to the Force grew clouded by the dark side. At the heart of this era was the rise of Darth Sidious, as the Sith's grand plan finally came to fruition. Operating in secret, Sidious orchestrated events that destabilized the Republic.
I mean, he impressed us all by what he managed to accomplish. I think is the correct way to phrase that statement.
While strengthening his own power. Under his guidance, the Sith infiltrated the Republic at every level, from politics to the military. The era reached its breaking point with the outbreak of the Clone Wars. Engineered by Sidious, the war pitted the Republic against the Confederacy of Independent Systems, a separatist alliance led by Count Dooku, the fallen Jedi turned Sith Lord Darth Tyrannus. The war spread chaos across the galaxy.
They ever address him as Darth Tyrannus in the movies? I don't actually recall that ever being said.
Forcing the Jedi to abandon their traditional roles as peacekeepers to become generals in the Grand Army of the Republic. This shift further strained the Order, leading to internal dissent and doubts about their mission. The fall of the Jedi was swiftly finalized with the execution of Order 66, as the Jedi's chosen one, Anakin Skywalker.
Was he really the Jedi's chosen one? Like, I don't know. I know that was what Qui-Gon Jinn's whole argument was, but was he ever really considered the best in the world, like the chosen one by anyone other than Qui-Gon Jinn, like 300 years before he was an adult, or 20 years before he was an adult? To be honest, I have not even watched any of the Star Wars series, like the actual fucking TV series vibes. Books, comics, and movies, yes.
Turned to the dark side of the Force and became Darth Vader. In an instant, the
He became really cool.
Clone Troopers fulfilled their true purpose and turned on their Jedi generals. The Jedi were nearly wiped out, with only a handful of survivors managing to escape into exile. Palpatine declared himself Emperor and transformed the Republic into the Galactic Empire, extinguishing.
Yeah, that is fair. Everyone might have called him the chosen one when they were busy. He was supposed to be the chosen one. They were busy fighting. I don't think anyone really accepted him as that though. I know when he's busy dying or not dying when they're fighting on Mustafar, he's like, oh, you're supposed to be the chosen one, blah blah blah. But still, like, did anyone actually really think he was? And in fairness, in the end, I'm just putting it out there. He was. He brought balance to the Force. He killed the Emperor, and by extension, kind of himself, and was the hero at the end of the day. I'm just saying.
The light of the Jedi and solidifying the Sith's control over the galaxy. What followed was the reign of the Empire from 19 BBY to 5 BBY, often referred to as the Dark Times. The reign of
the best times.
The Empire saw the newly formed Galactic Empire tighten its grip on every corner of known space.
At least most of these... Oh, there's another homie. And there's another homie. I was going to say, at least most of these people make me feel better about my hairline.
Declared by...
Maybe that's why I resonate so much with the fucking Empire. We all have the same problems about hairline.
Emperor Palpatine after the fall of the
BBY's Battle Before Yavin.
Republic. This era saw freedom and
also fuck all understanding what that meant until I googled it like 2 minutes ago.
Democracy extinguished in favor of tyranny and fear. The Empire swiftly consolidated its power by absorbing key Republic systems and institutions. The once revered Grand Army of the Republic became the Imperial military, with clone troopers replaced by the human-recruited stormtroopers. The Galactic Senate, though initially maintained as a facade of democracy.
Also, can we just point out that kind of, now they're speaking about clone troopers, everyone's like Darth Vader's the evil guy, but he's not the one who killed a whole bunch, okay, he blew up an entire planet, but he's not the one who killed a whole bunch of people while trying to be the good guy that were on a planet-sized destroying machine thing,
was
meaning the Death Star.
eventually dissolved entirely, leaving Palpatine as the sole ruler. During this period, the few remaining Jedi
We killed all those people already in a game. Just saying.
survived.
Also, I don't know if that's canon. Were they like canonically killed by Cal Kestis? Does he really exist in like the actual Star Wars canon and not just extended universe stuff in the games?
Were hunted by Darth Vader and the Inquisitorius. The Empire's
Why does it look like he's fighting the Inquisitors there? Also, what the fuck cartoon animated little Wookiee bullshit thing is this? Looks like a blob.
politics were brutal and oppressive, especially in Outer Rim territories where entire populations were enslaved to fuel the Emperor's war machine. Planets like Kashyyyk, home to the Wookiees, suffered under harsh Imperial rule, with its citizens forced into labor camps. The construction of the first Death Star, a massive superweapon capable of destroying entire planets, symbolized the Empire's reign of terror. Meanwhile, small sparks of rebellion began to flicker across the galaxy. Figures like Mon Mothma and Bail Organa secretly laid the groundwork for resistance, while dissident groups such as Saw Gerrera's partisans openly fought back against Imperial forces. While these early uprisings were disorganized and often crushed, they hinted at the growth.
I don't think it's Han Solo's godchild, it's his brother-in-law, Luke Skywalker. Kind of. I don't know if they actually got married.
Discontent among the galaxy's oppressed citizens. The shortest era of them all, the Age of Rebellion, contains the events of the original trilogy, between 0 and 4 BBY. The Age of Rebellion was a time of hope and defiance in the galaxy, as the more organized Rebel Alliance rose to challenge the tyranny of the Galactic Empire.
Okay, real talk. Does anyone actually like Han Solo? I know everyone loves to rave about the guy. Does anyone actually like, oh, he was a really cool character, I liked him, I want to be him when I grow up? Did everyone not just want to be Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker? He's like, I get to watch the super cool people with powers, but I get to sit on the sidelines. He's literally fucking Kobe Bryant's friend sitting on the side while he's playing basketball.
Though outnumbered
And, you know, once or twice he gets to play some pickup ball with him when he's at Kobe's house.
and outgunned, the rebellion
And maybe drive him around because he has a spaceship.
became a beacon of resistance, uniting beings from across the galaxy under the shared goal of restoring freedom. One of the first major victories for the rebellion came with the theft of the Death Star plans on Scarif, orchestrated by the team known as Rogue One. Their sacrifice enabled the rebellion to exploit a critical flaw in the Empire's superweapon, leading to its destruction during the Battle of
Just saying, murdered thousands of people right there. Could have been tens of thousands of people right there.
Yavin.
Was he really the good guy?
This victory proved that the Empire could be defeated and inspired countless others to join the cause. The Empire
I'm just saying, almost everyone in that Republic picture except for old guy and super old guy who probably has almost as much hair and as good a hairline as I do. This is why I don't resonate with these people, not realistic.
could be defeated and inspired countless others to join the cause. The Empire retaliated with brutal campaigns, but the rebellion endured. Heroes like Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia Organa, and Han Solo
I forgot they got like marathon medals from like slaughtering people
became symbols of hope.
and stopping the Empire. I forgot that part. Well, actually, Darth Vader stopped the Empire. They were there.
Leading daring missions against Imperial forces. Luke's journey to become
Don't know why I've decided pushing this narrative of Luke Skywalker was the real villain. It's now the choice of this video, but that is what we are committing to.
a Jedi Knight, guided by Obi-Wan Kenobi
Obi Ghost.
and Yoda, not only strengthened the alliance, but also brought him face to face with Darth Vader, his father. The Age of Rebellion culminated in
Fucking just drop the spoiler like that, no warning.
the Battle of Endor, where the Alliance scored its greatest victory. The Rebel fleet destroyed the second Death Star, and Luke Skywalker redeemed his father, Anakin Skywalker,
He redeemed himself.
who turned on Emperor Palpatine. The Emperor's death sent shockwaves through the galaxy,
Well, death. Can I just point out very unsuccessful death?
marking the beginning of the Empire's downfall. Though the rebellion struggle was far from over, the Age of Rebellion laid the foundation for a new
That's a very creepy scene when they're siblings. Hey, it's all the ghosts.
era of freedom. The New Republic era immediately followed the Battle of Endor, taking place from 4 ABY to 34 ABY. The New Republic was
Jesus, the entire fucking Republic lasted not particularly long.
founded in the aftermath of the Galactic Civil War. Built on the principles of democracy and freedom, it sought to restore the ideals of the Galactic Republic while avoiding the mistakes that led to its downfall. The Rebel Alliance formally transitioned into the New
Yeah, I'm just saying, I've watched a lot of Star Wars stuff, never seen a bird race. I don't know chocobos were not in Star
Republic
Wars.
following the signing of the Galactic Coordinates, a treaty that officially ended the Galactic Civil War after the Empire's final defeat on Jakku. The Empire was fractured, reduced to scattered remnants under warlords, while the New Republic established its capital on Chandrila, the homeworld of the new Chancellor, Mon Mothma. Unlike the centralized Galactic Republic,
Also, why do we go with Mon Mothma? All it reminds me of is like Mothra, like Mothra as in like Mothra and Godzilla, like Kaiju Mothra.
the New Republic implemented a
Kylo Ren is not a better Darth Vader.
rotating capital system to prevent the
I know that comment was just meant as a trigger.
concentration of power that had allowed Palpatine to seize control. Though the Empire was defeated in open warfare, its remnants remained a threat. Much of the surviving Imperial remnants retreated into the unknown regions, where they began rebuilding in secret. Others remained active in the Outer Rim. During this period, the New Republic faced significant challenges. Its decentralized government made decision-making slow, and political divisions arose between members who supported military preparedness and those who advocated for demilitarization. Mon Mothma pushed for peace and disarmament, believing that the New Republic should not repeat the militarization that defined the Empire.
Is that just kind of stupid? Your entire existence is based off of war. You've always fought wars, you've always been in wars, you've always had to be forced into war. War has been a staple principle. Literally, fucking, you just finished war. War existed 30 years before that when you moved over. War was before that against the fucking separatists. Like, at what point are we like, let's not try have war? No, no one wants to try have war, but it's a very real part of your life. I'm sounding very American right now.
This often left citizens to deal with Imperial remnants themselves, such as Din Djarin's Mandalorian covert and the once Jedi Ahsoka Tano, though they are unable to prevent the return of Imperial Grand Admiral Thrawn, the apparent heir to the Empire. The rise of the First Order brought upon another period of galactic war, between 28 and 35 ABY. Born from the remnants of the Galactic Empire, the First Order emerged as a militarized regime, determined to reclaim the power lost after the fall of Emperor Palpatine. Amid these tensions,
Never really expressed like how the First Order started, how it got so big, and how they got such a massive following. Like that piece, I feel like was just very glazed over. It's just kind of like, hey, this happened. No one knows how, but it exists.
Leia Organa founded the Resistance after discovering evidence of the First Order's emergence. Despite its ideals, the New Republic struggled to maintain unity and stability. The seeds of its downfall were sown as the First Order grew in strength, preparing to strike at a galaxy
Like Hitler.
prepared for another war. But the First Order indeed rose to power by exploiting the weakness of the New Republic. Well, the Republic
In the fact they decided to like demilitarize, or not demilitarize, fucking disarmament themselves.
had disarmed much of its military, the First Order began launching raids and expanding its influence in the Outer Rim, often going unnoticed by the centralized government.
How? Going unnoticed by the centralized government. How do you not notice, oh, these planets have been taken over? Hey, have you heard from that one guy on that one planet we're supposed to have a meeting with, every now and then? No, they got taken over by the Empire. Oh, okay, cool, never mind. Or First Order, sorry. Like, at what point do you not convene meetings across planets or have some form of connection between them to see, hey, maybe something's wrong when we can't hear homie XYZ?
Government. Snoke, a mysterious dark side wielder, served as the First Order's supreme leader. Under his command, the First Order implemented a strategy of fear and domination, culminating in the construction of Starkiller Base, a superweapon capable of destroying entire star systems. The Cold War reached its boiling point and turned hot when Starkiller Base obliterated the Hosnian system, including the Republic's capital and fleet, effectively dismantling the New Republic in a single strike. The First Order also played a pivotal role in the rise of Kylo Ren, formerly Ben Solo, the son of Leia Organa and Han Solo. Seduced by Snoke, Kylo Ren
Why do we have to go with seduced? Of all words. Seduced.
became the First Order's enforcer, turning on and destroying Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy. Though Starkiller Base was destroyed by the Resistance, the First Order remained a formidable threat, nearly obliterating the Resistance and bringing the galaxy to the brink of total submission. The First Order's tyranny, however, was ultimately challenged by the Jedi Rey Skywalker and a redeemed
Such a fucking cop-out.
Ben Solo, who defeated a cloned Emperor.
By that I mean calling her Rey Skywalker and making her a Skywalker. Why? Unnecessary.
Palpatine during the climactic battle of Exegol. Currently, the final
Also, if she's a Skywalker, does that not make her and fucking Ben Solo cousins?
era we know of
Just
on
saying.
the Star Wars timeline, the new Jedi Order begins in 36 ABY. This was a major era in Star Wars legends.
Oh, okay, never mind. Skywalker was an adopted name. Pretty sure Palpatine. That was me being stupid. Seeing as Star Wars already done the partial partial incest vibes with fucking Luke Skywalker being into his sister. That was a my bad.
Highlighted by the invasion of the Yuzon Vong. And
okay, they dope. We need fucking, these look like Sarkotans mixed with demons, mixed with I don't know what the fuck. We need them in a movie.
The war that followed.
They just look cool, and there's a weird dragon thing on their spears that could be living, could be. No, these are cool. We need them.
However, in canon, we know next to nothing for now. Announced at Star Wars Celebration last year, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is directing a new Jedi Order movie that will see Daisy Ridley return as Rey.
Fuck. Can we please put these old people to rest now? They've had their 3 movies. We need new people, new stories, and just not a rehash of the original trilogy.
It also wouldn't surprise me if this...
But they look... But the White Walkers were sad and depressing. They look cool and have dragon spears. Also, didn't watch fucking... I was about to say Grand Theft Auto. Didn't watch that thing with White Walkers in it. Game of Thrones. Also, 3 words, close enough.
This is where Lucasfilm's next publishing line will be focused after the High Republic wraps up in 2025. We know the movie will take place 15 years after the rise of Skywalker, but that's about it. We have no idea if the New Republic is in charge once again, what possible threats could emerge, or what Rey's Jedi Order could look like. All we can hope is that it will set the franchise on a new path that will lead us to very new and exciting places. Well,
also, there is the chance they get away from their origins, of which maybe they should also look at. Oh, she has a yellow lightsaber because she can. I was like, they might also get away from like the traditional thing of, oh, war and conflict, blah, 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 and actually maybe have a movie about like the world and the place they live in and not just rehash the same, basically 2 concepts now. Like the prequels that everyone loves to hate on, which fair. Actually not fair. I actually don't mind the prequels. I think they were decent. It was just so different to being this straight up just like war movie. It was all about like deceit and conniving and a lot more interesting things. Hey, look, it's Darth Bane in his obelisk armor. And just so different from like the OG trilogy and then the sequel trilogy of just being like, hey, let's make the OG trilogy but with different people. But it's the same thing and the same plot again.
Well, hopefully not dividing the fandom in the way that the conclusion of the sequel trilogy did.
In fairness, I don't think. Oh fuck! I don't know what I just did.
Growing up,
That needs to stop. That's for a future problem. Um, they need to have something different. They can't like invest in different storylines, different mechanics, different things happening. You can go into a completely different like style of movie and not just the same basic principle. Yes, the people will be the same and the overarching theme, Light versus Dark and Jedi versus Sith will be cool. Doesn't have to just be the straight up, oh, they're going to destroy planets. And somehow our government got overthrown again. And turn into something would be really cool to see, like, in fairness to people, like the transition from Republic to, oh, fuck, also went off the video. The transition
the
from
Star Wars galaxy is
Republic to not Republic anymore. Kind of cool and slightly different. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Anyway, it's by Red 5. I will link it down in the description below. I'll also link it at. For you guys, you can check out the video for yourself. But yeah,